Hi, I'm Mihir Joshi. I'm with Warren Mendonsa, and we are talking about everything that he's done. We talked about Zero. We've talked about a couple of Blackstratblues albums, and we're gonna pick it up from actually, we're gonna come to what's happening right now. The third album, which is gonna be released around soon's a good answer. Yeah, that's the best answer to give right now. Soon, which means it could be a month.
The 12th of later.
Yeah. But I heard some of the songs. You've been playing them live as well.
Yeah, we have actually. That's been what's different about this album. I think because the first two were pretty much me sitting in the studio like by myself or with people.
Yeah.
I think it's after the second album that I made it a live project. I think we had one gig in Mithibai College, I think. Thank you guys. So that's what kind of started. Like I never conceived Blackstratblues as a live project.
Okay.
It was always intended to be like a studio side project, and I had something else on the table. But somehow things happened that people liked it or whatever.
Yeah.
So we had to get that material to translate live.
Yeah.
And with this album, it was actually the other way around because we played the songs live first.
And now you're putting them down.
And then when we went to the studio, we already kind of pretty
knew what's
sure
happening.
What was going down.
And you got some interesting guest performers on the album again.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we had Adi who played bass over the whole thing. He's just brought so much to it. Karsh and Jai Raukavi both played drums on it.
Yeah.
And each guy, it was like what a casting person in a film would say, okay, this song, this guy. So they kind of split it 50-50, but each guy, man, they brought so much that even to the point later when I was doing guitar overdubs, I was like listening to like roles they played.
Yeah.
And I was writing stuff based on like, just phrasing that to what they had done. And I always, as for me personally, I mean, melodically, I'm pretty clued in, harmonically, but rhythm-wise, I always need to have someone there who's, like the same thing, the previous album with Cole or the first album with Zora, and that's what kind of I need to lock into.
Right.
And then it brings out something, from me creatively. So it came together pretty quickly. I think we recorded for 2 days, and I took it home and started doing overdubs. Nikhil D'Souza, he came and sang on one song, and he did vocal textures on a couple of other songs as well, which almost like sound like an instrument.
Nice.
Or whatever. You just stack voices up together and just get this big choral effect, which was really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. And I think that was pretty much it. There was just like a few of us. But and this guy called, I remember one song. It was like there's like a joke among us, every time some song is playing whatever, you start like doing these dholak patterns behind it. So I was listening to that song, and this is like the basic groove of it. It goes. So I kept just hearing.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, man, you should just put only that charty thing behind. So I had this friend called Iqbal who I've done a bit of commercial work with. So he came in one day, he just brought a duff and he brought a dholak. We just like put a couple of those layers on, and it just, you never tell that it's the guy playing a dholak or whatever. But it just, wherever the snare plays, that plays as well. So the snare actually sounds like much bigger than it actually does. So that was a cool thing. Because I remember, the funny thing is when I was growing up in Dadar, right across from my house was this big Maidan, and every year they had the Ganpati Pandal inside. So when the Ganpati was leaving, they had this, obviously lots of noise going on outside. And that was the only time I could turn my amp up loud and play along.
And play as loud as you want to.
So like somehow or the other I managed to, just
jam along with
what was going on. So I was like playing, what's that, Black Sabbath song. All that kind of stuff.
Wow, this is insane. A Black Sabbath song playing on Ganpati, dance music that's happening. That's fantastic. Okay, that's cool. So and tell me the name of the song that
it's called Focus 3.
Focus 3.
Don't ask me why, but yeah, that's what it's called.
How do you actually? This is a good thing that you just brought up. How do you name a song when it's an instrumental song? How do you know what it's going to be called?
I kind of wait till it's like it has to go out, and we have to put names. But by and large, I wait till I can listen to the song on the whole. and get some sort of
feel out
or whatever pertaining to whatever. Sometimes I just call it stupid names, but well, like like the first song on the first album was called Incense. So I just listening to it, it just struck me like of like some smoky kind of very dimly lit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I said, okay, let's call it that.
Incense. Okay.
Yeah, and so on and so forth. Like with this album, there was one song, and which will also be the title track of the album. It's called "The Universe Has a Strange Sense of Humor."
Nice.
And
that's the title of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second one was eloquently called the new album.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, is this one going to be called the newer album?
No, that new album was at the point where I was really sick of mixing and like all the the non-musical parts of releasing an album, and there's no one else to do it but yourself.
Yeah.
So at the time, what are you going to call it? Blah blah blah.
It's the new album.
It's called the new album, and I remember doing the cover in MS Paint.
Oh shit!
On my uncle's laptop. I just quickly put a black background, ching ching ching, did some spray. That's the album cover.
But this one's called what again?
It's called The Universe Has a Strange Sense of Humor.
The universe has a strange sense of humor. I like that.
Because if you think about it, I mean, like you always want to plan your life ahead, and then there's always some twist and turn which happens. At the time, you'll say, "Why the hell does this have to happen?" And if you look back at your life 10 years later, you're so glad that it did.
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
True story.
It kind of just falls into place as you go. So
very cool.
What
Can I hear something else from the album? Something that you
sure.
like. There you go, another sort of exclusive for you guys here right now. Of course, you get to hear them with the whole band when you go and see him play live,
they sound
which
a lot
you
better.
should. You should go and check the band out live. It's fantastic. I'm sure you'll love everything that they do on stage. Speaking of doing things on stage, you've been playing with a whole lot of people recently, right? I mean, a lot of interesting collaborations happening. You've been playing with Karsh. You did Coke Studio stuff with him. You've been playing. I just saw you live recently at this show called SARS, where you played with him. And Salim and Suleiman and Monali Thakur was there. Speaking of which, Monali Thakur was just on our last episode. If you've not checked out her episode, check it out. She's got an incredible voice and she sung some awesome songs on it. Coke Studio happened, and you've also been playing with quite a few other musicians right now. There's a lot of sessions work also happening right now, Bollywood as well.
Yep. And like this soundtrack works, and there's Amit Trivedi's gigs. I think he just started playing live again.
Okay.
So I did a couple with him, which were really awesome. Actually, you learn like quite a bit musically, because I think he's also like doesn't really want to be constrained by anything. He's quite like. So you've got like an Indian classical, there's rock, and there's a bit of jazz and stuff like that. So it's quite interesting playing with him.
Yeah. And are you enjoying doing Bollywood songs as well?
See, by and large, it's like down to three things that I'd look at. One is that if I can learn something from the music. The second is that there are musicians already on the gig who I enjoy hanging out with, or playing with them.
Yeah.
And third is if they're paying me really well.
Always a good thing.
So as long as it's one of the three, you know, I'm happy doing what I do. And you try to be professional about it. You don't really want to sometimes impose your personal tastes on it. I mean, if it calls for something that it requires, well, I'll just take the time and learn it. You know?
Do you see yourself maybe composing for a film? Should a film come along which suits your sensibilities?
Absolutely. I mean, I have had a couple of inquiries about just doing background scores and stuff like that, which will be really cool.
Yeah.
You know, just as long as it's something that I like doing, because considering the time and the effort that you invest into it, you don't really want to be, why am I doing this? You don't want that. Right? You want to be really engaged with, you know, the film as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm totally open to that. You know.
Very cool.
Here's my number.
You know what? I'm going to be a little selfish now. I know both of us love the Beatles, and even when I met up with Esa and I got a chance to jam with him, we jammed on a Cream song.
Right.
I'd love to jam on a Beatles song with you. In fact, just before we actually started shooting, we were playing. I'm a huge George Harrison fan. I mean, I love the songs that he does. Something was always my favorite, but we were jamming on Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah, sure.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Woohoo! I'm so happy because of the show. I got a jam with two of my favorite guitar players. I had a jam with Ehsan earlier in that episode. If you've not checked out that episode, what's wrong with you? And here we go. We just did a Beatles song for all of you Beatles fans out there as well. Thank you so much, man. I had
pleasure,
so much fun hanging out with you, getting to see your gear. By the way, we are in his house, in his jam room, where he comes up with all the awesome stuff now. The third album is probably pretty much recorded here, your parts. So yes, look out for the third album. It's called
The Universe Has a Strange Sense of Humor.
Universe Has a Strange Sense of Humor. It'll be out very, very soon, and once it's out, I will let you know about it as well on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter, and I'll keep you guys updated on all the awesomeness that comes out from this man. That did not sound right, but you get the idea. So there you go. That's all we've got for today. Warren, Mihir, this is the MJ Show.
Thank you.